What is your first thought when you hear the words ancient Egypt? Pharaohs, Sphinx, pyramids. Those are usually the first things popping up in your head, aren't they? You're right, of course. Whether you're a history enthusiast or not, you know for sure how powerful, smart, and especially how developed ancient Egyptians were too. Do you know how they did it? Well, every progress, each move forward in human history always starts with people. Those who work, study, discover, and progress in the name of society. That's why today I'd like to present to you the social pyramid of ancient Egypt. We'll start at the bottom and climb up right to the top. There's also a special little treat at the end of this video, so stay with me. At the very bottom were slaves and servants. They formed the backbone of Egyptian labor, working in agriculture, construction, and in households. Slaves in ancient Egypt had a diverse range of roles, but they were primarily involved in physical labor, both on large state projects like temples and pyramids, and within private homes. These individuals were often prisoners of war, criminals, or people in debt. Though their lives were controlled by their masters, slaves could sometimes rise in status. Interestingly, they could own property, marry, and in rare cases buy their freedom. While their lives were harsh, it's important to note that some skilled slaves, especially those working on large construction projects, were treated with a degree of respect, and even had some autonomy depending on their position and skills. Above the slaves were the farmers. The majority of Egyptians lived in rural areas and worked the land. The Nile's annual flooding was crucial to their success, providing fertile soil for growing crops like wheat, barley, and flax. While they were indispensable to Egypt's economy, farmers were often tied to the land and worked under harsh conditions. Many of them also performed seasonal labor on government projects during the off-season. Their lives, though tough, were a key part of Egypt's wealth. The artisans and craftsmen are the third tier of ancient Egyptian social pyramid. These skilled individuals were vital to the culture, creating pottery, jewelry, furniture, and monumental stone carvings. Artisans often worked in state-run workshops or within the service of nobility, contributing directly to the economy and the thrive of the arts. Though they didn't have the wealth of the elite, craftsmen were highly respected for their talents. Some even rose to positions of influence through their skills, such as the famous sculptor Thutmose, who created a renowned bust of Queen Nefertiti. Next on the social ladder were the scribes. These schooled men were crucial to Egypt's administration, documenting everything from tax records to religious texts. Becoming a scribe required years of education, mastering the art of hieroglyphics and other types of writing. In a society where literacy was rare, scribes held a special position, influencing decisions and preserving Egypt's history. Their education made them indispensable to the functioning of the state. If you want to find out more about them, I have a video just for you. Just click the link in the description. Soldiers made up the next tier of ancient Egyptian social pyramid. Military service in Egypt was a way to gain status and wealth. Soldiers protected the kingdom's borders, maintained peace, and ensured the pharaoh's authority. Successful soldiers could be rewarded with land, elevating them to a higher social class. Egypt's military was well organized, and its army played a crucial role in the expansion of Egypt's power and wealth. Soldiers could even become generals and get a sit within the pharaoh's inner circle. Above soldiers were the priests. Egypt's religion was intertwined with its governance, and the priesthood held significant political power. The high priest, who oversaw religious ceremonies, was often considered second only to the pharaoh in influence. Religion itself wasn't just a set of beliefs, it was a fundamental part of Egyptian governance and daily life. Priests were irreplaceable in maintaining the harmony between the gods and the pharaoh. Temples were centers of not only spiritual practice but also of economic power, controlling vast lands and resources. Priests were responsible for maintaining divine order too, ensuring that Egypt's relationship with its gods remained strong and favorable. Their role extended far beyond temples. They played key roles in advising the pharaoh and guiding the nation's decisions. The noble class consisted of high-ranking officials who managed regions or nomes for the pharaoh. These individuals were responsible for tax collection, law enforcement, and local governance. They lived in grand estates and had control over significant wealth. Nobles played an important role in the smooth operation of Egypt's complex bureaucracy, acting as the pharaoh's right hand in local governance. They were often trusted with matters of state, helping the king maintain control over the kingdom. At the top of the pyramid sat naturally the pharaoh, the divine ruler of Egypt. He was seen as the living god and the mediator between the gods and the mortals. As the political, military, and religious leader, the pharaoh's responsibilities were vast, ensuring Egypt's prosperity and maintaining Ma'at, the divine order. The pharaoh's power was absolute, but he could also be seen as a servant of the people, tasked with maintaining harmony and prosperity across Egypt. It was said that king's rule was in balance with the universe, and to disrupt this balance was to invite chaos. Now that you know the basic social structure of ancient Egypt, here are some additional insights referring to professions and people that weren't yet mentioned, but played very important roles in ancient Egyptian society. Trade was essential to Egypt's economy, and merchants facilitated the exchange of goods like gold, papyrus, and grain. They also imported luxury items, such as incense and myrrh from other regions, connecting Egypt to the wider world. Some Egyptian merchants even gained significant wealth and could rise to higher social standings, often achieving the status of landowners. While men typically held public office, women in Egypt had substantial rights. They could own property, divorce, and even become pharaohs, like Hatshepsut and Cleopatra VII. These powerful women challenged traditional gender roles and left a lasting legacy. Egypt had an organized legal system based on Ma'at. Judges were expected to maintain balance and justice, resolving disputes based on fairness. This system ensured that even in ancient times, Egypt was governed by law and order. As you can see, Egyptian society was a complex web of relationships, roles, and responsibilities. Each class, though different in wealth and status, played an essential part in the prosperity and success of one of the world's most remarkable civilizations. Thank you for joining me today. Hope that this video answered all of your questions about ancient Egyptian social structures. You can share your thoughts in the comments section below. I'd love to hear them. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the past class. See you soon in the next video.